Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Saray from Saray_plans on Instagram and Saray Bailey here on YouTube. And I am so excited that you have joined me today because I cannot wait to share with you some of the new goodies that are coming out on July 7th from Erin Condren as part of the Back to School collection. Thank you so much to Samantha Kerr and the EC team for sharing these goodies to review with you, and I hope that you like them as much as I do. There is definitely something for everyone in this collection, and I have to say the Back to School collection is definitely one of my favorites every year from Erin Condren because it just gives you that sort of renewed excitement for all things organization. And even though I'm not in school anymore, I still get that same feeling. I kind of see it like a new year each time. So I hope that you love them as much as I do. So just to give you an idea of how many items are coming back to the Back to School collection or are coming to the Back to School collection, this is the sheet that I was provided with all of the items that I was sent, and I will be walking through all the things that are highlighted here in pink. However, this does not include every single item because there is also a Back to School collection with a collaboration with Hello Kitty, as well as the Star Wars collaboration as well. And those items, I had an opportunity to take a sneak peek at some of those, and they are just absolutely gorgeous. So if you are a Star Wars fan or if you are a Hello Kitty fan, you are going to love the new designs as well. I went with the classic Erin Condren collection to review with you, so that's what we're gonna go ahead and take a look at. And get started with the kids products, and I know that these are made for kids, but I don't see why I couldn't use them. So I'm super excited about these two, especially if you are a parent and you have a little one and you want them to, start their love for planning or for journaling. These would be perfect. So I'll go ahead and get started with the A5 Kids Diary, and then we'll jump into the next one. So this is the A5 Kids Diary. As you can see, has this super cute cover, which is customizable. I don't know if you can customize the colors. However, you can add your child's name or another child's name if you're using it for a gift. But I absolutely love these emojis. And this is the diary, so you'll see the design of these emojis inside here as well. The covers are interchangeable. This is an A5 size. So if you're familiar with the A5 line, that is what the size is. And I am loving this. And one of my favorite designs of all time from Erin Condren is Party Pops, which is a very similar design to this one. I don't know what this one is called, but it's sort of like a variation to Party Pops. It's just, they're not perfect round circles. They're more like, ovals, and they have some overlay color here as well. But I absolutely love it because it reminds me of Party Pops so much that I'm hoping, I know this is like a kid's design, but I'm hoping that they can use this throughout other products as well. So a page for your child to write their name, and it goes into a quote in a very familiar format that we've been used to, and then it goes right into the diary pages. So this gives them an opportunity to write the date, rate how the date was, their mood. So these are the same sort of emojis that you'll find here in the cover. The weather today, and a nice variety of different icons. I love that there is a windy one, which is kind of hard to find in weather icons. How a space for them to either write or doodle, depending on their age. And the same here for things that they're grateful for and what do they want to do the next day. So the same layout is consistent throughout. However, the colors do change. And there's a space for them to either write some more or maybe use this sort of like a collage if you want to add pictures or stickers or anything like that. and it continues on for space for them to write with a similar layout and some blank pages. But as you can see, we do change colors from one section to the next. And there is definitely a generous amount of pages here for them to write. So this is super cute. One thing that I do wish, and is just, this is my opinion in terms of the shading. I know that the shading does give it a lot more color. It just makes it a little bit more whimsical or kid-like. However, if they make a mistake, you know, they can't really fix it that easily because of the shading. So that's just my thoughts on any sort of shading within these books, and that includes the planner. I know that there was one year where there was a lot of shading in the boxes, and that was really frustrating for me because guess what? I'm not perfect. I make mistakes, so I couldn't really use whiteout to fix it. But nonetheless, it's still a pretty cool concept. So you can see there all the different colors, but the style and the layout is pretty much consistent throughout the entire book. And then it brings us to the very last page with another quote. I absolutely love this font. And again, I'm in love with this renewed version of Party Pops, or whatever this theme is. So, and before I forget, this kid's diary is going to retail at $18. All right, so this is another kids item. This is called the Kids Ultimate Checklist Notebook. It will retail for $22, and I'm already loving the covers. This is a more traditional 7x9 book, so I already know that I can take this cover off and transfer over to my 7x9 book because it is interchangeable. And as I open it up, it's called the Kids Notebook Tracker, so they can write their name. However, this is perfect not just for kids, this is for everyone, because if you're really trying to build routines or a better home management system, honestly, I think that this can be just as effective. So you'll see that there are tabs already built into this book, and the tabs are routines, habits, chores, allowance, which we all need, and reading, as well as notes. And each of those sections is broken down a little bit differently, just so that it obviously meets the purpose. So this gives them an opportunity to write in their information and a little bit more about themselves, like things like their favorite food, their favorite color, their favorite game, and what do they want to be when they grow up. And then it jumps right into the routine. So what does the morning routine look like? The evening routine? I absolutely love it. I'm thinking I might take one of these pages and actually add it to my planner or my binder. Like, I'm using the binder sort of like a home binder where I kind of house everything, sort of like a reference binder. So I can keep that there, and obviously change them around as I adjust the routines. But this, I absolutely love this. This is so cool. I wish there was one more adult version, but there is some sort of like a checklist one out there already, but this one is super cool. So you have a generous number of pages as well for routines, but they're all the same. And then it brings us to the habits section. So in the habits section, very similar to routines, but this one a little bit different. So just you can list all of your habits that are not specifically tied to a routine. So maybe some things that they want to do every single day, like maybe reading, which might be just part of their day. So this is super cool. I'm thinking of doing the same thing. Taking this page and adding it to my binder because I love it. I mean, this is for kids, but I just can't get over the fact that I just love it so much. Maybe I am a 5-year-old after all, or maybe a little older. So here we have chores. And then what are the chores? I think this is also perfect. And a reward. I mean, I could use a reward after, you know, doing one thing of my chores checklist. So that is super cool. So another very similar. So the same layout as the habits one. It's just titled a little bit differently. And continues on, and it brings us to the allowance. So this one is awesome as well. It teaches your child to save up and, you know, really have that motivation on paper, really start to get into goal setting. And I know that for a lot of us, money is definitely one of those topics. And here it gives them an opportunity to write down what do they want to buy, what do they want to save, and what do they want to share with others. So this concept really reminds me of like the Dave Ramsey sort of like kids process for, although he doesn't call it allowance, they're commissions, I believe, of, you know, save, gift, that sort of thing. And then here they can list all of their allowance trackers. So how do they earn it? How much total they have. So it walks us through all of these pages. And again, a generous number of pages on this one. And then it brings us to the reading section. So this is another cool concept to keep track of how much reading they're doing. So like the date, the title, and how much they've read on that day. And the last section is for notes, just general, a little bit more wider ruled line pages with different color headers up at the top. And space for lots of notes. So I know I'm not a kid, I don't have kids, but I could definitely see myself actually using a lot of these components in this book, and I am so excited for it. And I love that the covers are also interchangeable to make it a little bit more customizable. Next, we're going to walk through the different writing tools that are launching. Some of them might seem a little bit familiar. However, some of the other ones are also new. We'll go ahead and start with this one. And while it's not necessarily a writing tool, it is an accessory that you would use for your writing tools, and the one that I'm super, super excited about. However, there is going to be another design option for this one that I definitely want to get. This one is absolutely beautiful, of course, but I definitely want to get the other design option, which is also mid-century circles. So this is a stand-up pencil case. It allows you to store your pencils or writing tools, and it has a couple of little holders on the bottom here that you can use to push down. And of course, this would work a little bit easier if I actually had some writing tools in here, but it actually stands up on your desk. So you can, you know, open it up, push it down, and then, or pull it down, and then you'll be able to have all of your writing tools on your desk. This is perfect, I think, for the ones that I use the most. So in the mornings when I wake up, part of my morning routine is to really just lay out my day. So I only have just a few go-to items that I use for that, because it's for my A5 planner, which I really don't decorate much at all. So I can just keep a simple stash of tools here that I can just use as part of like my morning routine planning. The next writing tool is this set of 6 black ink ballpoint pens, and all of these different colors with the pastels as well as the metallics. So let's go ahead and take them out so that I can do a quick pen test. All right, so since all of these are all the same, I won't test them all, but they write super smooth. They write a little smoother than your typical ballpoint pen, but they still also just come out like a ballpoint pen. So not my absolute favorite because I do love gel pens. I prefer them, but these are really nice for a ballpoint pen. So if you are a ballpoint pen lover, I think that you'll find that the smoothness of these is actually really, really nice. In addition to the ballpoint pens, we also have this mini gel pens that comes in a 24 pack, and these are super cute. And let's go ahead and open them up. As you can see, it comes in a very similar packaging as the thin markers packet that also comes in a 24 pack, except those are a little bit longer. So here we have a little bit of a different setup. So these are all sort of neon types of colors, and all of these are metallic. So let's go ahead and do a pen test. Oh, wow. We just went through all of the neon colors on this set of pens, and oh, wow. Wow, I am in love. I absolutely love all of these colors and the pen quality. So in my opinion, EC has struggled with pens in the past, and they have not been the absolute best, but these are amazing. So if the ECT team is watching this, I would absolutely request another set of pens, but just like these, it seems like it's like a 0.7 point for these pens, but in just different colors. So maybe black, blue, just some more of those traditional colors, but I absolutely love these. And I probably have to say my favorite, and the one that I'm probably going to be using quite a bit, is going to be the white, because I do use a white pen on darker color stickers. And currently I use the Uniball broad tip, but this one with all of these other options is super, super adorable. So I love it. They work very, very well. Highly, highly recommend this one. So let's go ahead and try out the metallic side of the pens. And I keep flipping back and forth because all of the names of the pens are here. And actually I was incorrect. I'm looking at this right now and it just says it's one point. That's the 1 millimeter point there. So the tips. So there we go. All right, so this is the other set. Absolutely love these colors as well. The magenta and hot pink are very similar in color. The only difference is that the magenta is just a little bit more glittery, and the same as the royal blue and Pacific. Very similar colors. This one, the royal blue, is a little bit more glittery, and this one between Kelly green and spruce, the spruce is just overall more glittery. But I absolutely love the colors, and as you can see in the back, there's just very minimal shadowing. The pens that do tend to shadow the most would be the neon ones, and the one I can see the most is the teal color, which I don't really see it as a teal. It looks a little bit more like just like a light blue, so not very tealish, but definitely my favorite color has to be in this set is probably going to be the Beets color. I love that one. And from these, I kind of really like the golden yellow on this set as well. So, and of course the white pen is always good. So these are definitely a winner in my book. No pun intended. Okay, so to show you the next writing tools, I will show you another product that is coming out as well, which is this Projects and Exam dashboard and tracker, so that I can show you how these work. However, if you're familiar with the EC Wet Erase tip markers, then these are what these are. This is actually not a new set of colors. These are not necessarily new. However, they're just packaged in an 8-pack rather than a smaller pack, which is, it was 4 count that you would be able to purchase these in. However, I don't recall seeing this color, this kind of orangey color. So, we were told that these are not necessarily new colors. So you'll see that there's black, purple, magenta, coral, orange, turquoise, royal blue, and Kelly green. And then the projects and exam dashboard allows you to keep track of your projects for which particular class, any specific details, when is the deadline, what are the important dates, and has there been completed. So you'll see 4 sections of that. And then on the back, you also have the exam tracker, so you can see when are your exams and then what are the long-term projects or upcoming exams as well. So let's go ahead and test these out. All right, so this is what the wet erase markers look like on the dashboard. Now, these are great because when you just pass your hand over it, it doesn't come off because they're wet erase. They're not dry erase, so there's a difference. So the dry erase, if I were to do this, it would all be erased, but because it's wet erase, you just need a little bit of water and it comes off really, really easily. So I have just grabbed a wet paper towel and I'll just show you how easy it is to erase it. And that's it. This next accessory, it is a set of 3 glue sticks, which come in the mid-century circles design, and I absolutely love that. And these are pretty straightforward, you know, like your typical glue sticks. So this will be great for projects or even scrapbooking or stickering up your planner. I love to use like sticky notes on my planner, and I can just use a little glue stick to adhere the sticky note, especially if it's a very cute one. And speaking of sticky notes, let's go ahead and show you this additional accessory. This is the sticky note ball, and I believe this is another iteration. I believe there was one on the site before, which I did not get at the time. I think this was a few years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And I think this is like the coolest desk supply. So there's a number of different stickies with different designs. So there's a few that are lined, and if you're someone that likes a lined sticky note, these would be great for really quick notes to add to your planner. So these 2 here are lined. This one has the graph paper or the graph chart, and then this one is a dot grid. There is a total of 300 adhesive sheets or stickies here. They're approximately 4 by 4 in size, and there is 12, so a total of 12 pads, and it has 25 sheets each. So as I mentioned, I love to use sticky notes on my planner sometimes, so I can just grab one of these. And one little tip, when you are peeling sticky notes from the pad, is to not peel them over, but peel them sideways. So for example, on this one right here, the adhesive is up on the top. So what I want to do is I want to just peel sideways. That way it's more likely to stay flat versus having the sticky note be like all curled up like this. So that is one way that you can save your sticky note. And I just will use this little glue stick. Oh, it's really smooth. And then just use it to stick it down. For that, I also use like the removable double-sided tape, like the Tombow one. I've used that a lot, but I can definitely use the glue stick for this. All right, the paper quality, it is not the typical AC paper quality. This one is a little bit more, it reminds me of that sort of paper you find, like the construction paper you find like at the dollar store. That's what this material reminds me of. So, I mean, they're like just sticky notes. They're not as high quality as, for example, Post-it notes. These are more of that, you know, more cheaper kind of paper. However, for the purpose of what it is, I don't really need a fancy sticky note. And I actually prefer this paper over, for example, the Post-it notes, because the Post-it notes, the material of the paper actually messes my gel pens up. So I do not use gel pens on Post-it notes because it will ruin the tip of my pen. It's happened more times than I can count, so that's why I know for sure. So I do not use those types of pens on my sticky notes. So I'm excited about this sort of paper material because I don't have to worry about that. I can pretty much just use any pen. One thing that I noticed on this particular sticky note is that it has the EC logo right in the middle, which I find kind of odd. I wish that if it was going to have the logo to be down here, because this one doesn't make it as usable. For how I use sticky notes, they're very disposable, so I'm not that worried about it. I can still use this, but just for future reference, I would have the EC team maybe get rid of the logo altogether or put it down below. All right, and I'm usually very terrible at giving pricing on these, so let's go ahead and recap what we've covered so far. So the few things that I have not shared pricing on was the fine tip wet erase markers, which will come 8 in a pack, so those are $15.50. The ballpoint pen set of 6 will be also $15.50, and also the lightning bolt stand-up pencil case or the mid-century circles design, which is right here, will be $16. And then the glue stick, which we just covered, will be $4.50. And then the colorful sticky note ball, which we just reviewed, is $12.50. The next item, which are notepads, and there's a few different designs and layouts for these notepads. These are all customizable in terms of the title up here. The ones that I was sent just say dream big, carpe diem, and be awesome, but of course you can change it for anything you like. The first one is going to be the weekly layout, which is very familiar to an existing notepad that EC has, where you have Monday all the way through Friday and then the weekend in one box. I wish that it would be separate, but I'm not really concerned about the weekend being together here because there are other notepads that actually have the weekend separated. So this is just a different style. So these are awesome because these are the A5 sized notepads and they fit perfectly in the back of your agenda. So if you were a planner that just got one of the new A5 ring agendas from EC, these notepads fit perfectly in the back. In addition to fitting in the back, they can also be punched. Of course, they're not perfect A5 inserts, but you can punch them to fit your A5 planner. And because I do want you to visualize it, I've grabbed my A5 puncher as well as my A5 agenda so that you can see how it will fit. All right, so as you can see, the sizing is just a tad off, but this would not bother me at all. It's something that you can add to your agenda if you're needing that weekly view. And as I mentioned, you can fit this in the back of the agenda, like so. And it is thick enough that you can fit 2 pads in this one pocket in the back. The next layout, it is this weekly projects and exam layout, which on one side you can keep track of any specific projects that you have going on, or if it's a project, if it's a quiz, or if it is a test for which class, some details, and then some tasks that you can add here as well. And on this one, you can also add more information about what are your most important goals, or goal if you just have one and you have some specific deliverables for that particular goal. So you can just write your goal up at the top. What are your action steps and to-dos, some notes or doodles, and then what do you need to do for the following week. So the 3 notepads that we just covered are going to be priced at $10 each. And there's more notepads as well. Like for example, the Focus Weekly notepad, as well as the Weekly Desk Pad. And those will retail also at $10 and then $14 respectively. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to dashboards. And I know that I gave you a little preview already of the projects and exam dashboard, but these are some additional ones that are coming. And I'm so excited about some of these because some of you will be really, really happy. So the first one right here, it is an A5. Oh, actually, this is mislabeled. This one's not, is it A5? I don't think this one's an A5. Let's try it out. Interesting. Yeah, I did not think so. This is not typical of an A5. So I think that this packaging is actually just mislabeled. It's just a snap-in, not A5. So it is a snap-in weekly schedule dashboard that will fit either your binder, or it can also fit in your 7x9 coiled planner. So that's what this one is. And just like the projects and exams, you can use the wet erase markers to write on these. On this side, you have like your weekly overview, and then on this side, you can keep track of priorities and to-dos. And I'll go ahead and leave this one here because the next one, it is an A5, and this one specifically a habit tracker. And this is one of the first accessories that EC has released for the A5 agenda. So those of you that have an A5 agenda, I'm sure you're going to be super thrilled because this is made for you. So I love that it has a tab sort of sticking out here up at the top, and it says habits. And then here you can just write down whichever habit you want to keep track for the week. And then on this side, you have your goals, and then also why they are important to you. Sort of like a really quick, sort of like a mini dashboard for the week to keep you on track with your habits. So absolutely love this new addition. In addition to those dashboards, there are these brand new dashboards. These are all magnetic, and we saw a sneak peek in the latest newsletter that was released from EC. So this one is a habit tracker dashboard, this one is a productivity dashboard, and then this one is the weekly schedule dashboard. So let's go ahead and open these up so that you can take a quick look. All right, so this one's the habit tracker, and as you can see, they are magnetic on both sides. So they're meant to just be placed anywhere in your planner, and it'll, because it is magnetic, actually it's a pretty strong magnet. You can just place it there. And then you can also use it sort of like a bookmark. And I'm all about having that dual purpose so that you can really maximize your tools. So you can use it like a bookmark, and it also a habit tracker. So very similar to the dashboard that we just looked at. And then on the other side, again, it has goals and why they're important, except this one has the gold outline and the other one was silver, the dashboard. And you can also use your wet erase markers for these, but let's go ahead and try them out. All right, so we know that the ink goes in very well. Let's go ahead and remove it. All right. So for this one, to remove it, you just have to have a little bit more pressure, but it does come off pretty cleanly, as you can see here, and it does not leave any sort of residue. But this one's a little bit different than the other dashboard because the other dashboard is laminated. This one is not laminated. It has more of that matte cover. And if I just tilt it a little bit towards the light, I can sort of see what I had written down before, but if the light is not hitting it at the right angle, then you're not going to be able to see that, but just something to note there. But I mean, it's very minimal. It works very, very well overall, and I think that is to be expected because of the material that this is. The functionality of the other magnetic dashboards is pretty much the same, so we'll just go ahead and look at the layout. So this is all about checklists, and it is checklists on both sides, and this checklist very much reminds me of the Focus sticky notes checklist that is already available on the site. And then this one has a very similar layout to the other dashboard that we just walked through, where you have your days of the week, Monday through Sunday, and then you also have priorities and to do. So exactly the same dashboard, but it's just in a different format and a little bit on a smaller scale. All right, we are making our way through. So we just walked through the A5 ring agenda. So that's going to retail at $450. The snap-in dashboard will also be $450. The projects and exams tracker snap-in dashboard that we reviewed earlier, it is $750. And then the magnetic dashboards, all three will be retailing at $750. So we have a couple more things to review, and let's go ahead and show you. All right, so the next items are plastic folders. So these are your typical file folders that go inside a binder. As you can see, they're already perforated for a binder, but they are plastic. All right, so as you can see, each of these sets comes in a set of 3, and these are like your big folders that you can fit a 8.5 by 11 size page. As I mentioned, they are perforated here to fit in a standard 3-ring binder, and you have your pockets here as well, which are very generous all together. The folders, what is different about these is that they're plastic, so they're very flexible, but they're plastic. So I think that is perfect, especially for kids or someone who might be a little bit clumsy like me. So if you have documents and you spilled water, it can be easily wiped off, and your documents inside would not be damaged. So I am super excited about these, and these three come in the very subtle mid-century circles design in these three colors: the blush, the purple, and then the aqua color. And then this is a new design, which we're actually going to see in other products from EC, which is called Colorblend. So you have this sort of ombre rainbow going on with the quote in the middle: plan for the future while honoring the present. And the setup is very, very similar to what we just walked through. This one is don't forget your vision. So it reminds me of that colorful Just My Type new design that we saw in the Life Planner launch. So this one, everyone is a work in progress. So I feel like I've seen these quotes all throughout the Just My Type planner, specifically the colorful one, which has this sort of like color blend Just My Type design. So these folders of 3 a set are going to retail at $12 each. As you can see, I don't have every single item, so there's other things that are coming for the back to school collection, some more dashboards, and I am also super excited to check out the desktop drawers, specifically the mid-century circles one that is also coming. It's going to retail for $32. So I'm super excited about this one. So I'll probably be getting myself one. We had an opportunity to see it in our town hall for the EC affiliates. And just to give you a size perspective, you can fit, and I'm going to go ahead and just zoom in a little bit here for you. So you can fit on the top drawers an 8.5 by 11. We were not given the specific dimensions for that, but you can fit an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So, and your planners can go in here. We're not sure if the 18-month planner, because of the size of the coil, might fit here. However, planners, like a 12-month planner, should be able to fit pretty comfortably. And there is another design. So this is the color blend as well, but it's really all white. So you only really see the color blend when you open the drawer because it is on the side. And then there's also a desk organizer set, very similar to the ones that are already on the side or that have been released before. This is just a new design. So I am super excited about these additional accessories, but I know that this is not even everything all together for the launch, because there's also the Hello Kitty as well as Star Wars. So I am super excited for those of you who are big fans of those franchises, for you to get your hands on some new products. All right, and then the last thing that we will review is the academic planner. So we'll go ahead and take a look at this one. So this one has already released earlier, but I was also sent an academic planner to check out, which does include that interchangeable cover, the cover that we're all familiar with, and has the academic page. So this one's a little bit different. Typically there is a vellum page up here in the front, but this one does not have the vellum page, but it does have the mid-century circles design throughout, and some of the setup, so like the 12 boxes here, or I'm sorry, not the 12 boxes, but the year at a glance is still here. Although I do have to say, I do love the a little bit more subtle mid-century circles design on this one. And it is a little bit different than the Life Planner because this one is a school planner. It's an academic planner. So you have a page here to set up your class schedule, some notes, and then it jumps right into the monthly view, which you can see your monthly overview. And then you can set up some goals or events that you might have for class, some notes for the month. And then also, this is very similar to the projects and exams dashboard that I just showed you, but this one is built right into the planner, so you're able to keep track of all of that. And then here you can schedule more of what you have to do for your class content every single day. And it's so funny because the more I think about this too, I'm like, I wonder, you know, this could make a great content, a content planner as well, because you typically have like your big project and then you can break it down into smaller to-dos here as well. And it is already dated, so that's definitely an advantage. So this is what your weeks will look like. And then it brings us to the end of the month with some additional notes pages. So you have about 4 or 5, and then you jump right into the next month where you have that same setup. So the planner takes you through your entire school year, and it does include one of the new sticker sheets, which has all of the additional holidays that you might want to incorporate if you do celebrate those. And it also has another sticker sheet in the back with some of the familiar stickers that we've seen from EC in the past. However, these are specifically for school. So you have, for example, an exam, test, read, study guide, no class, midterm, quiz, paper due, study, and vacation stickers, as well as some additional ones here, blank ones that you can use to mark any special events or things happening with school. So that was the full collection that I was sent by the team over at EC. I hope that you enjoyed all the different products that I reviewed. If you found it helpful and you are planning on making a purchase at EC for the back to school launch, I would so appreciate if you would consider using my link. I will go ahead and link all of these products down below for easy access for you. And if I was able to help you make any decisions for your back to school shopping, I'd be so honored if you would consider using my affiliate link down in the description section. If you are new to my channel, I am so excited that you are here. Welcome. I would so appreciate if you would consider subscribing, and don't forget to turn on the notifications so that you are notified each time that I upload a new video. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them down below. And as always, friends, I will see you next time.